Hey guys, it's Rebecca. Today I just wanted to talk about 5 movies on Netflix Australia that I think are worth watching. First one that I want to talk about is The Loved Ones. Now, this is an Australian torture film. It was released in 2010. It was directed by Sean Byrne. Basically revolves around a high school guy called Brent. So he is invited to prom by a girl at his school called Lola. He rejects Lola because he actually has a girlfriend and wants to go to prom with his girlfriend. So that's pretty normal, but she doesn't take it too well, and she actually gets her father to kidnap him, and so they have their own prom at her house where they basically torture him the whole night. So it wasn't really a fun prom for him. Lola is she's a very sadistic, vengeful type of person, and you can't really help but feel sorry for Brent. There's some scenes at the start of the movie that kind of make you have sympathy for him from the get-go. The movie itself is acted very well. Everyone involved really plays their character awesome. It's also shot very well, so I would definitely give this one a watch.
Say happy.
Happy! Love her. The second one that I want to talk about is It Follows. It was directed by David Robert Mitchell and it was released in 2015. It basically follows the story of a high school girl called Jay, and she's basically your average American teenager. She isn't very popular, she isn't very unpopular, she's just average. She finally meets a guy she likes and she decides that she wants to have sex with him. Little does she know that he's actually doing it to get rid of a thing, like a demon thing, curse that is following him, and that's how you get rid of it. You have to have intercourse with someone to get rid of it, and it doesn't follow you anymore, it follows the person you had sex with. So she was kind of used as a means to get rid of this thing that was following him. The movie itself is very nicely paced. It heightens your anxiety, how it's paced, the thing that follows you. It adds to the anxiety because it only walks at its own pace. It's disguised as a person, so it isn't a stereotypical horror monster or villain. It's basically can look like you, it could look like me. It creates a paranoia inside you, and I think that's why you get so involved in this movie. It's really a refreshing take on the horror genre, in my opinion. So yeah.
Mom? No, it's me. Everything's okay.
The next movie, Hush. Now, this is new to Netflix. It was only released in 2016. I only watched this recently, but I really enjoyed it. It's directed by Mike Flanagan, and he's also the guy who directed Oculus, the horror movie. If you've seen that, he's directed that. It's basically about a girl called Maddie, and Maddie is deaf and also mute. So she cannot speak, she cannot hear. She moved to the middle of the woods to focus on writing her new book, because she's obviously a writer. So she thinks she's alone, calming, wants to finish this book off, and then she starts getting stalked this one night by a psychotic man. He likes to play a sadistic game where he doesn't choose to come in and just kill her and get it over and done with. He wants to make her tremble with anticipation and fear, which in turn kind of puts you on the edge of your seat because you just don't know what this guy's going to do. The cinematography in this and the way it's directed is amazing. I loved it. He really focuses on the little things. It highlights things that she cannot hear, but you can. They really played on her disability throughout the film. It's kind of a vital role in the film where it's very clever. It's a very clever film where it's a breath of fresh air again for the horror genre, because it doesn't give in to those horror cliches. There's parts of the film where you think it will give in, and it does the opposite. And I think it's, again, a very clever film, and I would highly recommend it if you haven't watched it. So these last two films that I'm going to talk about today are both found footage films. The first movie I'm going to talk about in the found footage genre is the movie called Creep. Now, this was released in 2015 and it was directed by Patrick Brice. This basically is about a man who works as a freelance camera guy, I'm guessing, and he's hired by a man called Joseph. And now Joseph says to the man that he only has a few months to live, so he wants to get everything of his life documented on film for his unborn son to watch when he's gone. So yeah, he gets to know the job, starts filming, and it's a very simple concept, but things just start getting weird. Joseph starts getting very possessive of the cameraman Aaron, and it's quite unnerving actually. It's very character driven. I was creeped out. I really enjoyed it. Give it a watch.
Why do you look scared? Don't be scared. It'll all be over soon.
The last found footage movie on this list, and it is called Honeymoon. Now, this was released in 2014 and was directed by Lee Yaniak. Basically focuses on a newlywed couple called Bella, which he likes to call her B, and Paul. So Paul and Bella go to Bella's vacation home, which is basically a cabin by the lake. It starts off romantic, and then it descends into a weird, slowly built chaos after Paul finds Bella wandering naked and disoriented in the woods in the middle of the night, in the middle of their first night. So Bella starts acting stranger and stranger throughout the film. So he's kind of just trying to put together what happened to her in the woods, because she's just really acting weird. It's a very subtle horror, in my opinion. You need to pay attention to the little things in these films to get the full effect of what happens in the film and the story.
Something bad happened to me. Something bad happened to me in the woods.
So that's it, guys. That's my 5 Netflix horrors that you should check out if you haven't. And yeah, so I'll see you next time.